Okay, John, it's time at the bar.
If you've seen enough of director Edgar Wright's work, it's pretty apparent that he loves music. But from his early work on Spaced to his newest blockbuster heist film, Baby Driver, Wright's movies stand out because of the way he uses music, and the fact that his characters are listening to it as well. To understand how he makes this work, listen to Wright describing his favorite use of music in movies.
I think there's so many sort of directors that like their use of music I really admire and love, like Martin Scorsese and like Quentin Tarantino. The other big film as well that predates all of those, I think, that doesn't really get enough credit as like a great like jukebox movie is American Graffiti.
Sure, yeah.
Like when that came out in the early 70s, I think that was one of the first movies that like had an entirely like diegetic soundtrack. Diegetic meaning that
it's all
not
taking
scored,
place within it.
It's all happening in the scene.
That's a great point.
Like
yeah.
it's all at a prom or like at the diner or on
driving
somebody's
around,
radio.
yeah.
Diegetic music appears all the time in movies, but Wright uses it in a way that really has an impact on the plot, the characters' emotions, and the pacing of the action. Take a look at this music video for Blue Song by Mint Royale that Edgar Wright directed in 2002. The song's length dictates exactly how much time Noel Fielding's getaway driver is going to wait for the bank robbers.
Okay, you got 2 minutes, 54 seconds from now.
It still functions as a music video, but the music also plays a role as a plot device within the world of the story. Or how about this sequence from the end of Shaun of the Dead? The heroes are surrounded by zombies in a bar, and the jukebox suddenly starts blasting out Queen's Don't Stop Me Now.
Where the hell did he come from?
I don't know.
Tonight, I'm gonna have myself.
Who the hell put this on? Some random.
For fuck's sake!
It's a clever way to frame a comedic moment, but it also affects the characters emotionally, something that wouldn't happen if only the audience could hear the song.
Why is Queen still on? We have a situation! I know!
I don't know if jukeboxes in this country do this, but like in jukeboxes and pubs in the UK, do they do this in the US? Like if you don't put money in, they just start playing on their own?
Yeah.
So you'd be sitting there in the afternoon talking, and then, you know, the jukebox would suddenly, like, ELO would just come on.
Yeah.
And, like, so it was just the idea of, like, in the tense situation, what if it just started playing? And then what it was the most, like, joyous kind of song possible.
Finally, take a look at the closest thing to a musical that Edgar Wright has made, the 2010 comic book adaptation Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. The entire film is framed around the life of a musician, so it makes sense that music would play a big role in the story. At the start of the final battle, Scott actually cues the music that scores the scene.
Kim! We are Sex Bomb, and we are here to watch Scott Pilgrim kick your teeth in! 1, 2, 3, 4!
With Baby Driver, Wright has almost given himself a free pass for this kind of filmmaking, by inventing a condition that requires his main character to always be listening to music.
I got a question, Doc. Why'd I believe phones over here heard the goddamn word you said? He ain't even listening.
The story allows Wright to incorporate songs that would otherwise have a hard time finding their way into movies like this, like Bell Bottoms by the John Spencer Blues Explosion, which opens the film.
I would just listen to this song and I'd start to like imagine a car chase. And I didn't know what the story was or who the characters were or what was going to happen other than that it would be great to do a car chase to this song. So, you know, like I think a lot of times you kind of come up with that songs and you think like this would be great in something.
With a whopping 30 songs in a running time just under 2 hours, Baby Driver is Wright's most musically charged film yet. So it's a good thing he knows how to handle a soundtrack.